Hello, I'm Angela Johnson and I've often been described as a crafty explorer. In my early career, I was an art teacher and I've always enjoyed making cards and gifts for friends and family. In the past few months, I've been lucky enough to work with docrafts and have really enjoyed working with some of their amazing ranges. In particular, I love the characters of the Santoro Gorgeous range, and there's nothing nicer than crafting with new tools. Now, Xcut have a range of cut and emboss folders, and I've really experimented with different techniques and mediums and have achieved some amazing crafting results. I'm looking forward to sharing some of my crafty ideas with you. docrafts have some amazing embossing folders, and they've introduced a range that are called cut and emboss. Now, what's special about these is they don't just emboss your cardstock, which means adding a relief to your cardstock, adding dimension to your cardstock, but they also die cut out sections at the same time. Now, the one I want to work to today is called the Santoro range. And what I'm going to basically do is show you different techniques that I've discovered using the same embossing folder with different cardstock and different mediums. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the self-adhesive Xcut foiled cardstock. I'm going to place it inside the embossing folder and I'm going to pass it through my Xcut cutting machine. Using the plates as in the instructions, just place it into the machine and turn the handle. Now, this is a great technique whether you're making cards, whether or not you're doing scrapbooking, whether you're doing home decor projects, because actually it really does produce completely different results from just regular cardstock. Take it out. Are you ready? This is the wow. So you open it up and what you find is, number one, it's beautifully embossed. So you can see all the detail of the design. But what makes these so unique? That actually it has also die cut out different elements within the actual card. So the ribbons die cut, the hearts have die cut, and the stars have die cut. Now, to show you how I've used that on a card, here's a card I've made, and very simply, I call it a one-cut wonder. Once through the machine, a piece of vellum behind, white cardstock, amazing result. Let's go on another journey. So using that same embossing folder, this time I've used watercolor card. Now that could be quite a challenge because watercolor card is quite fibrous. But again, what you'll notice, if I put a piece of black behind, it's die cut all the parts out beautifully, but still maybe you can't see the definition of the design. So that's when your techniques come in. So what I've done is I've taken one of the cards I've pre-prepared and I'm now going to use some ink. So I'm going to take some pink ink and I'm just going to use my ink pad to show you that as soon as I start to work this cardstock, you can see that lovely pink detail coming through on her dress. And then I thought, still doesn't pop out enough. So then what you can do is you can use different techniques, but using your coloured markers, go back in and just pop out, because it's already embossed, it enables you really quickly and easy to colour in between the lines, and actually you get amazing results. If I just coloured in her bow, you'd see the difference between her hair and that bow, and I can colour in the hearts and carry on colouring that in until you get something like that. And I think that's when you think, wow, so we've foiled, we've used watercolour cardstock, but there's more. I then have another medium that I love to work with, and that is called Gilding wax. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's quite easy to get hold of, but there is the same embossing folder, and I've just cut it out in black cardstock. If I put that onto this spare piece of cardstock, I've got some Gilding wax here, and it's a very simple technique. You again take something like a stamping tool, and watch the magic. This is just like a magic trick. So holding your ink pad very lightly, go over, and suddenly all that beautiful detail is revealed just by going round in a circular motion. Now I could go over that whole one, but I have actually finished one for you. So if I show you what we were achieving and give you an idea of how you can make a finished card that's just one embossing folder using different techniques. I think you agree, that is very creative and a great way of using these new embossing folders.